everybody, and welcome back to another video. And if you're new, it's really nice to meet you. I'm Jane and my husband Mike is behind the camera. We're British, early retirees, debt and mortgage free, and living a thrifty, frugal and money saving life on a super tight budget here in Brittany in northwest France. And every Friday we bring you something food related. It might be a shopping haul, it might be some menu planning or some batch cooking, or it might be cooking a lovely wholesome recipe, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing for you today. Something that we use on a very regular basis, especially at this time of year, is all the fresh fruit and vegetables that are available really cheaply or free at this time of year. And today I've made to share with you a lentil bolognese. So it's a lentil pasta sauce. You could also have this just on its own as a really chunky soup, or you could make the lumps bigger and have it as a chunky stew. Maybe you could have some lovely crusty local bread with this as well. So that's what I'm going to be making for you today, is the lentil bolognese, or a pasta sauce for lentils. And stay tuned to the end. I've got something special to share with you. I've got some garden abundance to share with you. Let's talk through the ingredients for a lentil bolognese and the variations that you can use. When you have a pasta sauce like this, which would be a meat-based sauce, you're basically looking at onions, usually celery, but mine is at the bottom of the garden, it's pouring with rain. Onions, celery and carrots. You make a sofrito, you add in the meat afterwards, and then you add in tomato, and you make your sauce that way. I'm making basically a vegetable sauce, a vegetable tomato based sauce to go with pasta, and my protein is going to be lentils. Now you can see here I have medium sized lentils here. You can use red lentils, bigger lentils, green lentils, brown lentils, any lentils you like. I'm really fond of these small brown lentils in a tin here. They're really great. My vegetables today, I'm going to be using carrot, courgette, I've got a bit of pepper left and an onion. And in my freezer I have this. So this is chopped, mixed frozen vegetables. These are a great thing to put in there. And I've got half a bag of that left, and I will add that in too. So my courgette, my pepper and my carrots will be chopped as small as I can get them. Great way to do this is to stick it all in the food processor and whiz it up. You want it small. You want it as small as the lentils, really. I've got a vegetable stock cube to add in this as well. I've got tomatoes, I've got garlic, and I've got herbs de Provence, which is mixed herbs basically. And I'll use a small amount of oil to cook this in. I don't like it to be too oily, so I will just use a tiny amount of oil to get this going. My courgette's not looking very good. You can see I've got half a pepper not used, so that's why those are going in. I've got half a bag of this that needs to be finished, and that's going to be added in too. So there we are, basically just the same as a meat sauce, but no meat, and I'll be adding in lentils today. So there we go. So here are my chopped vegetables. I will crush the garlic and add that in at the end of sauteing the vegetables. And I want to show you how I do often change things up. I like to use the food that I have in the house that's already open. So I have red lentils already open. You can see I've got about a cup and a half there. So I have my courgette, zucchini, my onion, my red pepper, and my carrot all chopped up. I've got my stock cube, my veggie stock cube, to which I will add in half a litre of water, which is 2 cups of water. I have here my large tin of tomatoes, which is about 3 cups of tomatoes. And I won't use these lentils because these haven't been opened, these have, and these need using up. So I'll saute all these down, and then it's so simple. I will add in the lentils, I'll add in the tomatoes, I'll add in a bit of stock and some herbs and crush the garlic, and I'll leave it to cook. It is by far one of the cheapest, simplest meals that we ever have. So here are all the vegetables that you saw, including the garlic. Not much oil at all, because like I said to you, don't like too much oil in a vegetable bolognese. I've cooked it all down. I haven't browned it at all. And I'm going to add in my lentils. So let's see where this goes next. So in here I have got a cup and a half of red lentils. I'm going to add in, this would be two regular sized tins of tomatoes, and these are whole tomatoes. They're going in. Quickly rinse that out. We waste it, do we? There we go, rinsed it out. And I have here as well half a litre of stock, and I will start to cook that down. And what I will do is I will add more water, more stock to this as it is needed. So here is my lentil bolognese. It's really thick, just like a meat bolognese. And it's cooler a bit. I will taste it, see if I need to add any more seasoning to it, any more salt to it, or any more pepper to it. And it can sit there in the pot, in my nice big cooking pot here, until the pasta is done. And when it does that, and it cools down a bit, it will really thicken up. So I'm going to cook some tagliatelle to go with this, and I'm really pleased with that. It works best if you chop the vegetables into small bits. So as you saw, I sweated it down in a tiny amount of oil, cooked it until everything was soft and not brown. And then added a cup and a half of lentils, 1 litre of stock, which is 4 cups of stock. And you also saw I added the tomatoes, which is the equivalent of 2 tins of tomatoes. I'm really pleased with that. It's a lovely texture that's going to go very well with pasta. So the next thing I'll show you is what it looks like when I serve it up. And here is the finished lentil bolognese. It's got that chunky texture that you'd get if you were to have it with meat. I will share with you, I've got very disappointing gluten-free tagliatelle today. It's all just broken into little pieces. What an absolute shame not to have great big ribbons of it. Never mind. This does taste good. And there's something I want to share with you as well. Whenever I make anything that is tomato-y, and I want it to really punch with the tomato flavour, at the end, I give it a good squirt of tomato ketchup. There it is, lentil bolognese. Well, we hope that you enjoyed that video. You can double up that recipe, you can batch cook it, it freezes well. It keeps well in the fridge for a few days. We had it as a pasta sauce with pasta, and then we had it in bowls just as soup for lunches for the next few days. So it's a very, very versatile recipe, so healthy and packed full of protein as well with those lentils. Now, let's share with you some summer garden abundance. And let's start over here. These, if you're British, you'll know what these are. These are a lovely, sweet, juicy Victoria plum. And as you can see here, I've got about 10 kilos of these. And if I were to buy all of these plums, even at wholesale prices, I'd be paying about 15 euros for that lot. But a friend of mine was just about to go away on holiday and said, please come and pick the produce off my trees, because they were getting ripe very quickly. And what happens with ripe fruit when you leave it on the tree here, you just get swarms of wasps coming to eat the rotten fruit, and it's a nightmare. So I will be, British people call this bottling these. I will make plum chutney. I will make a spicy plum sauce that we would use in stir fry, or you could add to something like a barbecue sauce, and of course I will also make plum jam. So those are my Victoria plums. These are out of our greenhouse. These are our lovely red little cherry tomatoes. We've got thousands of those, we're eating those constantly. And this here as well, my friend didn't want these either and said, please come help yourselves. These are an English variety of apples called Bramley apples. They are absolutely the best British cooking apples, and in my opinion, they are the best cooking apples, full stop. I will make half of these into apple sauce, or basically, I will cook the apples very, very lightly, and I will put them in a jar, and then I will water bath them. And the rest will go to adding to my blackberries, which, if you wait a moment, talk amongst yourselves. I'll open that bag up there. I have been collecting the blackberries from the garden and freezing them. And then when I have about another bag of these, so more garden abundance, that will become blackberry jelly. I don't make blackberry jam, but blackberry jelly has no pips or seeds in it. And then we've got beetroot. First of the beetroot out of our garden. I was thinning them out basically, and these are the smaller ones. I will oil these, peel them, slice them, and pickle them. And I'll make a pickling solution of vinegar and pickling spices, and they will be put in jars, and they again will be water bathed for the future. Then we've got more of our tomatoes from our garden. These are not a variety that get very red, but they are extremely tasty. These are going to go in a quiche today. And then we have what we British people call runner beans. These are runner beans. We kind of cut the tough bit off the sides, and then we prepare them into pieces, and we steam those and eat those as a vegetable. So I am getting fistfuls of these every single day. This is spinach. And again, this is from my friend's garden, and he basically said to me, come and cut as much as you like and help yourself. And when I take away his fruit and vegetables and things he doesn't need, I give him homemade jams and pickles, and he likes that. And these are more cucumbers out of our garden. So at the moment, we have an abundance, not only in our own garden, but in our friend's garden as well. And I am going to be very busy making preserves. I really enjoy doing it actually. I love getting all those jars into my cupboard ready for the winter, so I can just pull out some apple pie or apple crumble filling, or I can pull out some pickles, or I can pull out some chutney for the winter. And chutney is a spicy, not a sweet condiment. It's something you would have maybe with cold meat, or you would have with cheese, and it's something that you would eat maybe in a sandwich, a bit like a relish. So we really hope that you've enjoyed the video today, and if you did, go on, give it a thumbs up. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. Thank you to the old subscribers, the new subscribers, and if you're not a subscriber, because we know half of you watching are not, please go on, come and join the Frugal family. And thank you so much to everyone who leaves a comment. We read every single one of them, and we will see you soon. Goodbye for now.